Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to see how to run DeepSeek R1 securely. I have already made a two video. This video will be completely separate. In the previous video, I have shown you how to run the DeepSeek R1 model locally. So if you are not aware about what is a DeepSeek, so DeepSeek is nothing but a large language model released by a Chinese people few weeks back. So as we already know that if we want to run any large language model on a company websites, our data is going to be sent on a particular either website or a company or a country. So if you want to keep your data secure, you have to find out various options. The first options which we have already seen that is running it locally. And for running a locally, we have seen three options. So what are those three options are? The first one is running DeepSeek R1 locally using a command line interface. Second option we have seen that using it with the help of user interface, and third option we have seen that using it with the API call. And in API call we have also seen that how to run the model with the help of Python library. So if you want to watch those video, I will just give you a link in a comment section. Now, when we run it locally, we require a high amount of hardware. So if we want to run even 1.5 billion model, we will require 3.5 GB of RAM, I think which nowadays everyone has. Even a 16 GB RAM is available in the most of laptop and computers. But if you want to run a higher model, so if we want to run a model with 8 billion parameter or a 70 billion parameter, then it's become difficult to get such high hardware capability and purchase a hardware which is having this much capability. So what are the alternate options which can perform? So the second option which we can have is renting out a server. So basically Amazon provide a service that is a Amazon EC2. So these containers provide a compute capability to us. So basically it provides a some separate hardware dedicated for your application only. So you have to manage everything. So whatever we have deployed locally using Ollama, same thing we can deploy on a Amazon EC2 server, where we have to keep it running to use it. But if your application is not that big and you don't want to keep on using it continuously, then it is not that suitable option, because we are renting a very huge hardware which is going to cost us significantly. Now to optimize it, and if you don't want to take care of all the server, which OS you want to run on it, if you don't want these complications into your system and you want to build it simply, then the third options come into the picture, that is running a model or a large language model in serverless LLM. So the question comes, what is a serverless LLM? So basically a serverless LLM is refers to deploying and running a large language model into a serverless computing environment. Means we don't have to directly purchase a complete system. So all things will be managed by a provider. So meaning that it is not required managing a dedicated server. Instead the LLMs are on demand and in a cloud environment, automatically scaling to handle a varying load. So basically the service provider are going to give you a serverless LLM which will manage all the regards related to the LLM. Means it will handle all the security, all the scalability and etc. All the things are being managed by a service provider itself. And in this thing we are going to use the service known as Amazon Bedrock. You can have a alternate as RunPod, and there are many applications which provides a serverless LLM. But Amazon provide a better security, that is why I am showcasing you a demonstration on Amazon Bedrock. Now, what are the advantages of using a cloud computing features? That it is a on-demand execution. It is a event driven, so we can run it only and only when we require. Then all the resources and infrastructure is managed by a service provider, so we don't have to think about it. Also, it provides the auto scaling, means if we require a higher computational power, it will going to provide us a higher computation. If we require the lower computational power, it will provides a lower computation. And it has a pay per pricing. So more we are going to use, it will going to charge us accordingly as per our usage. So we don't have to rent a complete hardware, and we don't have to manage that for how much time we have to keep it on running and when we want to shut down. So it will charge us based on what we are going to use. So these are the advantage of using a serverless LLM. So what are the additional benefits? It is a cost efficient. It is use easy for the deployment because we don't have to think about other complications. Then it is elastic, so we don't have to choose initially that how much hardware we require. That decision we don't have to take. And last one is the security is completely managed by the service provider. So these are the benefits of using a serverless LLM. And if we compare it with advantage and disadvantage, so advantage we have already discussed. What are the disadvantage? That a data privacy. So data privacy now it is depend on a service provider. So if that service provider is trustworthy, then your data will be secure. And one more major problem is a cold start latency. So as it is providing a serverless LLM, it whenever you make some request, it will turn that server on and then provide you a response. But as compared to these two models which we have considered you can use, the run pod has this issue majorly because it completely turn it on and turn back off whenever you require. But Amazon Bedrock provides you a higher efficiency in that manner. Now we are going to see how we are going to use a Amazon Bedrock. So before that we should understand what Amazon Bedrock is. So basically the Amazon Bedrock is a fully managed service that offers a choice of high performance computing models such as foundational model and leading AI company like AI21 Labs, then Anthropic, Cohere, Llama. These are the most popular models which are already available on Amazon Bedrock. But you can see over here DeepSeek is not included. So it also provide a option that you can import some another model into the Amazon Bedrock. So if we check out the flow, how the flow work in running Amazon Bedrock. So this is a complete flow. We have to select a model which we want to run, which we are going to select a DeepSeek R1. Then we have to upload it on a Amazon AWS S3. So again we have to check what is a Amazon S3. So basically Amazon S3 is a Amazon Simple Storage Service, is an object storage service offering a industry leading scalability, data availability and security and performance. So basically it provides us a storage where we can upload our model. Now for a building generative large language model, you should aware about the pricing because it is not come at free of charge. As we are running locally, it is free of charge for us. But if we are running on some serverless model, we have to pay for it. So you should aware about the pricing that it cost first to use this rented server, that is a S3 model. So it is going to charge you for the S3 model also, and it is going to charge you for a Bedrock also. So if we are uploading our custom model, in this thing we are uploading the Llama version. So why Llama? I will just tell you, because in custom model it provides us limited models itself. So it supports Llama, multimodal Llama, Mistral and Plan. So these are the model which are being supported. So if we want to run a DeepSeek R1, what we have to do? We have to go on a Hugging Face And in Hugging Face, we are going to select DeepSeek R1, and we have to use a distill model. We cannot use a complete big model, so we are going to use a distill model. Distill model is nothing but a trimmed down version of a large model, and which transfer all the capability of a big model to a small model. This process is known as a distillation, and if this distillation is done by another LLM, so here there are two most popular distillation model. First one is given by Quen and second one is given by Llama. But our custom model supported by Amazon Bedrock is only LLM Llama model. So we are going to select a Llama. Over here I am going to select a 8.8 billion model. So first we have to copy this code, and you should aware about the pricing. So based on this model, it will approximately use a 2 custom unit for a 8 billion model. So these things you should be aware of, and you should immediately delete after your use case so that it will not charge you much. So now we are going to see how we are going to use this model. So for that, first we need to download this DeepSeek R1 Distill Llama 8 billion model. So for that, I am going to use a Colab notebook. Because of it, it will not download it to your computer. It will download a complete model on a Google Colab, and from Google Colab, we are going to upload it into a Amazon S3 bucket. So for that, what we are going to do, first we have to install a Bota 3 library. So Bota 3 library is provided by Amazon itself to handle the AWS model. So we will run this and install Bota 3 into our notebook. After installing, we are importing model from Hugging Face. So that is why we will also import Hugging Face, and to download it, we will import a snapshot download. We will import Bota 3, and as we want to handle the files also, we are importing the OS. So we will import this file. Now I have already copied this code. This is the ID which refers to the DeepSeek R1 Distill Llama 8 billion model that you have to define over here. The model ID is equal to DeepSeek AI DeepSeek R1 Distill Llama 8 billion model, and we have to give a path where we want to store it. So the model path will be the snapshot download, model ID, and local directory. So local directory I am defining by the same name, and we will run it. When we run this particular command, if you run it on a Jupyter notebook, it will download on your computer, so it will utilize your complete net, and it will depend on your internet speed. Now I am downloading it on a Google Colab, so it will be much faster, and it will download all the files related to the model DeepSeek R1 Distill 8 billion model. After downloading, what the next thing we have to do? We have to upload it on Amazon S3. So before setting it on Amazon S3, we are going to require some keys to connect your Amazon AWS server to your Google Colab notebook. So for that, what we want to do, we have to first open this Amazon AWS server, and in Amazon AWS server, we will require some keys. So which you can access from, you have to go to the Visura, you have to go to your own account detail. Here you will get option security credential, and in security credential there will be one access key. You will require this access key ID, as well as you will require the access key security code. So you have to click on create access, you have to understand and click on create access key. So based on this access key, it will create two things. First one is the access key, and second one is the secret access key. So both things you have to copy, and you have to set it into the credential. So I am using this credential will be stored in over here in the credential, and you are going to directly use those credential to import it into your model. So to keep it I am not going to show you what are the key and how you have to use it. So we will directly move to our code. So it will take some time because you can see over here it is approximately total 15 GB, this is a 7 GB and this is a 8 GB. So total approximate data is around 15 GB, and those 15 GB you are going to upload it on your Amazon S3 bucket. Now to create this S3 bucket, you again have to go to your AWS server, and here you are going to select the S3 bucket. And in S3 bucket, you have to create your own bucket if you don't have already created. Now for creating a bucket, you have to click on create bucket, and in create bucket you have to select a general purpose. Then the bucket name, whatever name you want to give, you can write it over here. So DeepSeek R1, that you can name your bucket. Then you have to keep all these options as it is. There is no need to make any changes, and at the last you have to click on create bucket. Now I have already created a bucket, so I will not click over here, and I will go to my existing bucket. Now for this existing bucket, you have to upload all these files over here. Now instead of uploading it one by one, we will write a code for uploading, and you will require something. That is nothing but you will require its properties, and you will require this name, that is a DeepSeek R1 which I have created. So this name we are going to require, and this credential. So the credential I have already set into my Google Colab notebook. So I will directly use it. Now you can see over here my model is completely downloaded. And to use a Google credential, I will just import my user data. I will access my AWS access key and AWS secret key. So these two I have imported. Now I want to upload all the files which I have downloaded. You can see over here all the model is been downloaded over here. Now all this file I have to upload. Where I want to upload? In a bucket. The bucket name is DeepSeek Visura, which is the name I already created. Now this is my local directory, and all this directory I have to upload over here. So you don't have to worry about this code. I will provide it in a description section. Now we will run this. So it will upload all these files from our Google Colab notebook to our Amazon S3 bucket. So again, it will take some 3 to 4 minutes to get all those files uploaded into your server Amazon S3 bucket. And then you can check it over here in the objects. All the files will appear over here. Now you can see over here our all files are uploaded. Now we can check it in our S3 bucket. So if I refresh this bucket, or I will just reopen it. So now you can see over here, you can see all the files are been uploaded into our bucket. Now we are going to use this file and we will import it into our Bedrock server. So for this you can go in type over here as a Bedrock, and you have to go to the Amazon Bedrock. And in Amazon Bedrock we are going to import this model. So click on import, and now you can see over here there is no model present right now. So you have to go click on import model. You have to give a name. I will name it as DeepSeek R1 8 billion model. Then job name, either if you want to change, you can change it. Then we are importing it from the Amazon S3 bucket, so that we have to select, and we have to browse this model. Now for browsing, we have to directly go to a exact folder where all the files are been located. So this folder should be selected. So you have to pick this folder and click on choose. Then we have to create this as a new service, and we have to click on import. So again, it is going to take some time for all the model being imported. It is given as a new import has been started. So based on, for you have to wait for almost 7 to 8 minutes for the whole model to get imported, and you will get a notification of it. Now you can see over here, it is showing that this model job is importing. Now you can see over here my job is been imported. So now I want to use this model. So for me it approximately take 5 to 6 minutes. So for now, to use this model, you have to go into the model where this DeepSeek R1 8 billion model is been imported. You have to just click on it. Here the model ARN number is given, which we have to use later on. You can simply copy it. And now we can directly use in a open playground. So the playground is provided by Amazon itself to test out the different models. So we have simply click on open playground. So this playground also provide you a setting by which we can tweak our model. So what should be a response length, what is a temperature, top P, these things you can manage over here. And if you want, I want my response length to be very short, and I want to ask a question, what is the capital of India, and I will hit an enter. So it is showing that the capital of India is New Delhi. So whatever the max length I have set, it will print up to that only. So now if you want to generate something more, but if you want to compare two models over here, that things we can also do by using a compare mode. We have to select a proceed with clearing a current chat, and the model I am going to select over here is a Meta. I will select a Llama 3.2 billion model and I will click on apply. And now we can see how both the model are performing. So for creating code, I will just increase the response length so that it can produce a better code. And over here, right now I am going to write that I want a simply set the numbers in ascending order. So I will write a Python code to sort numbers in ascending order, and we will hit run. So the 3 billion model run faster, and as it is a 8 billion model, it takes some time, and you can check out how the code is been generated and output it as written, and the same thing is done by the Llama models also. So now you can use some complicated prompts to validate which model is performing better. So this is a one of the options by which you can use your imported model in a AWS playground. The another way, if you want to run same thing in a Python code, what you can do, you have to again go back to your Python library, or we are using this Google Colab. In this, first we have to import a Bota 3, then import JSON, then paste your ARN. So this ARN you have to copy it. So for copying this ARN, you have to again go to the Amazon Bedrock. In Amazon Bedrock, where we have imported our model, we have to copy this ARN from this model. So here you can see over here the ARN is provided. You have to copy this ARN. Then you have to go to our notebook and you have to replace this ARN with your ARN. Then prompt what is the capital of France, we will keep it as it is. Then you have to create a client, and for this client you have to provide the Bedrock runtime which we are using. The region I selected as a US East 1. You can change this region as per your application. Then you have to provide the access key and secret key. So these things you have to pass. Then there will be a body will enclose a prompt. So prompt I have already written over here. You can have a various parameters, so mask token length, what you want, you can set it over here. Then the response you have to generate, and you have to stream this response. So I will give this code to you so you can play with it. Now we will just click on run. So you can see over here it started running the code. The Paris is the answer capital of a France, and it is generating some another country also. So likewise it can generate. So if you want to use it either in a playground and compare the model, or if you want to develop a model using a Python library, you can import it using a Bota. So I hope this video is clear to you. If you are having any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. The one more important thing is, after using completely model and playing around, you have to delete those things also. So this is the imported model. So this imported model, you have to go on this three dots and click on delete, and simply press a write a delete and click on delete, so that it will not charge you unnecessarily. And the next thing what you should do, that you should delete all the things which you uploaded on the S3 bucket. So for this you have to go on your S3 bucket, select the bucket which you have created, then here is the option that is the empty. So click on empty and you have to type delete permanently. I will just copy paste it and click on empty. So it will delete all the files which we have uploaded, because it is charging based on how much files you have stored in the system. So you have to make sure that you delete all those data, so that AWS will not charge you unnecessarily. So thank you for watching this video. If you are having any doubts, you can ask in a comment section.